Peter Navarro, The Coming China Wars, Where They Will Be Fought and How They Can Be Won. As an engaging and exhaustive examination of the potential impact of an aging population on the U.S. at large, The Coming China Wars, Where They Will Be Fought and How They Can Be Won, by Peter Navarro delivers a sweeping look at a topic of paramount importance. The author offers a comprehensive overview of how the growing number of retirees and aging baby boomers may bear down on the economy, presenting readers with an informed analysis backed up by relevant statistics and facts. Expect to delve deep into the current state of the U.S.'s demographic landscape, and an exploration of its potential economic consequences. Navarro also dismantles popular myths that surround this topic, providing the reader with clear insights into the reality of the aging population and their impact on future generations.
America's Gray Future. More than ever before, America is grappling with an aging population challenge. In the next few years, a massive wave of baby boomers is expected to hit the economy, creating a significant economic burden. To illustrate, 60,000 Americans are currently aged 100 or more, a number that's expected to increase to 600,000 by mid-century. Caring and housing the centenarians will be a daunting task, putting a massive strain on resources and the healthcare system. As the nation braces for this gray future, policymakers and organizations must prepare and strategize to deal with the aging population challenge. The generational storm. The economy is facing a demographic crisis as life expectancy is increasing, and birth rates are declining. In 1900, only 1 in 20 Americans lived to 65, but now, life expectancy is 76, and 12.4% of the population is over 65. Additionally, the population doubled from 76 million in 1900 to 286 million in 2000, with projected growth to over 300 million in 2006. However, family sizes are shrinking, and birth rates in some European countries could cause population shrinkage. The result is a looming crisis where fewer workers will be available to fund the retirements of a growing number of aging baby boomers. Social Security's looming crisis. A rapidly aging America will soon have only 2 covered workers per beneficiary in the Social Security system, leading to a crisis in supporting retiree payments. The number of people aged 65 or older is set to increase continually from 35.5 million in 2000 to 69.4 million in 2030 before further rising through to 2080, with the elderly population possibly reaching 96.5 million by 2090. These demographic trends have significant and far-reaching socio-economic implications for a nation transforming into a retirement community. Generational accounting for a broken compass, an urgent solution. The American government is accumulating debts that will burden future generations with a huge economic burden. Generational accounting is an urgent solution, which has been implemented in 30 other countries. The government's compass is broken as it uses the federal debt as a measure of the fiscal position. Inflation is not a viable solution as it diminishes the value of money, creating continually rising prices that are socially and economically disruptive. The formula is simple: someone will have to pay the government's bills, either the current generation or future ones. It is urgent that the public understands these implications. The looming debt crisis. A government economist warns of a looming debt crisis that will burden future generations for their lifetime. Dr. Jagadish Gokhale reveals that future generations will face double today's net tax rate to pay off the debt. The government has been concealing the debt crisis, which is 3 times more serious than the $3.5 trillion commonly used to describe Social Security's fiscal shortfall. The Social Security Trustees Report reveals an approximate $10.5 trillion deficit, which requires a payroll tax hike of 4.5% to meet the true cost of the shortfall. Current discussions suggest a 2% increase in payroll taxes, which is insufficient to address the crisis. The current generation must take action to prevent the looming debt crisis that will burden future generations. Myths of revenue gap solutions. The idea that technology, national yard sale, capital deepening, direct contribution plans, delayed retirement, letting immigrants pay, and privatization are the solutions to the revenue gap is not entirely true. These myths present various challenges to future generations, including debt burdens, tax increases, risks associated with private investments, and homeland security issues, among others. Therefore, the U.S. cannot produce its way out of the deficit, and boomers cannot rely on these shortcuts in solving the revenue gap issue. Weathering the coming economic storm. As the economic disruptions loom, individuals are left wondering what they can do to secure their future. According to the author, the government can employ a three-pronged approach, taxing more, borrowing, and increasing inflation, to reduce the burden of debt. However, this solution could lead to inflation and a reduced real value of money. Hence, it becomes essential for individuals to take proactive measures to protect themselves against the coming generational storm. Retirement planning tips. If you want to prepare for retirement, be cautious of the so-called retirement investment complex. This includes financial advisors, brokers, bankers, and mutual fund managers who may not have your best interest at heart. Instead, it would be best if you saved aggressively and use investments that offer tax shelters. You might also need to adjust your lifestyle to save more, delay retirement to increase Social Security benefits and build savings. Additionally, you can downsize your home, relocate to an area with lower living costs, or invest in gold to hedge against inflation.
In conclusion, The Coming China Wars candidly examines the challenges that the U.S. faces due to its aging population and its potential impact on future generations. The book successfully dismantles popular myths associated with aging populations and provides a wealth of data-driven insights that stimulate thought. Navarro emphasizes the need for proactive measures and presents actionable suggestions for individuals to secure their future against generational economic strains. As the book's summary comes to an end, readers will be confronted with a sobering account of how government debt, inadequate planning, and changing demographics can shape our lives in the foreseeable future, underlining the importance of awareness and preparedness.